Here at Helmuth Ford, we are a small town dealership with no hassle and no pressure.
The Albia After Prom Haunted House is open Friday and Saturday nights in October from 8 to 11 p.m. Admission is just $10. Free parking at the Monroe County Fairground in Albia. It's the Albia After Prom Haunted House. Fridays and Saturdays in October from 8 to 11 p.m.
We hope to see you there.
The Watch Your Opera House presents the Midwest Country Music Organization New Artist of the Year, Jordan Beam, featuring John Griffiths, this Saturday at 7 p.m. Tickets are just $10. Get them at watchyouroperahouse.org or get them at the door. See one of the Midwest's best with Iowa's Jordan Beam this Saturday night, 7 p.m. at the Watch Your Opera House.
As these Iowa skies,
Delta Fire and Rescue presents the Delta Haunted House at 109 North Center Street in Delta. Admission is just $10 per person. The Delta Haunted House is open each Friday and Saturday throughout October and on Halloween night from 8 to 10 p.m. Food and drinks will be available for purchase, and now accepting cash and most major credit cards. It's the Delta Fire and Rescue Delta Haunted House, Fridays and Saturdays in October and on Halloween night.
Prevent pig feed contamination by cleaning out the feed bin. Check for moisture and caked-on debris inside the bin on Successful Farming Radio.
Successful Farming Radio, providing information farmers need in the field, in the shop, and in the office. Committed to growing your business in agriculture.
Pride. It runs deep for those in agriculture. But that pride can also prevent farmers from asking for help when it's needed most. An injury, illness, or natural disaster is a heavy burden for any operation to bear. Farm Rescue is here to help shoulder that burden. We are a nonprofit organization helping farm families in crisis with free planting, haying, and harvesting assistance. There is no pride lost when it comes to Farm Rescue. Learn more at farmrescue.org.
Do you have a great idea or invention for the farm or ranch? If you've created some shop tool, workaround, or homemade idea to save you time and trouble, send the idea to Successful Farming Magazine for our All Around the Farm section. If we use your idea, you could get paid from $100 to $400. Submit your ideas today at agriculture.com/idea entry.
Before colder weather sets in, take some time to inspect your pig feed bins and clean them out if necessary. The feed in most of these bins is continuously flowing, and this helps to flush it out. If the bin isn't being used or there's a dead space and the feed just sits there, the feed could absorb off odors and develop mold. Molds produce mycotoxins, which can have an adverse effect on the pigs. John Patience is a professor of applied swine nutrition at Iowa State University. He says, in general, feed bins should be cleaned out every 6 months or every year at the most. Your focus with bins that are in continual use should be on the boot, which is where the auger sits at the base of the bin.
And that boot can get wet. Rainwater or condensation can get into that bin, and there will be a certain amount of dead space in some of those boots where the feed sits there for a long period of time, even though there's feed flowing through it. It really depends on the design of that boot. Certainly checking them a couple of times a year to make sure they're not leaking would be all that would be required.
If there's moisture in the boot, figure out how it got there. Check things like caulking, bushing, seals, and tighten bolts. Then start cleaning it out.
Obviously, physical removal of all of the grungy feed would be the first step. Make sure it's very, very well cleaned. I would then dry it very well to make sure it is dry. You could bleach it if you wanted to kill the molds, but I think a good cleaning would be all that's required.
I'm Jody Henke. Learn more about feed bin sanitation at agriculture.com.